with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
It is Thursday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? That means the boys are at Sadie's on 4th. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
It's been almost one full week, Van, since the birthday bash at the historic El Rey Theater this past Saturday.
Judgment 1 full week since we've been here at Sadie's on 4th Street.
It has been exactly 1 full week.
That's how weeks work.
Plus the hours it takes for us to
break down, pack up,
turn around, go to town.
Yeah.
Boot, scoot, and boogie. Yeah. Brooks and Dunn this weekend over at Isleta. Also, it's our anniversary this upcoming Saturday.
Let's go.
That's going to be at Howie's.
Don't get weird.
It's getting so weird.
We're real weird. Did you tune your guitar yet, Kaylina?
No, but I will.
You will day of.
Yeah, it's better to do that.
Okay.
It'll lose tuning.
Depending on the weather. Could get more tuned.
I've had really good luck with my guitar staying in tune. Other people not so much. So depends on the day and the weather.
I don't know what a tune is on a guitar.
Wonderwall's a good tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a duck's mouth on it to do that one. What's that called?
A
Clippy Boy?
Oh, it's a little clipper
these
boy.
are way better names than
Clippy
what it's
Boy.
called.
Yeah, what's that thing? You know what I'm talking about? What's it called?
It's a capo.
Yeah, a K-bar. Yeah, you got to put a K-bar on it.
Capo.
Capo.
4
Who?
letters. C-A-P.
Oh, Vincent de Capo.
Yeah, capo.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Like a second guy in charge in the mafia, or a capo.
Like if I were to go to a bank and steal money.
capo regime.
Oh, like a caper.
Nope. Nope.
I mean, capers are all right.
Capers are delicious.
I mean, like with things, absolutely.
Oily and tart. Very umami, naturally umami.
Sure, yeah.
You're saying something about wrestling?
Yeah. So, anyways, lots of conversation about it. Lots of conversation about our anniversary.
Yeah.
And very little conversation about if Minnesota has a chance tonight.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
My goodness, I got them winning this thing.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
This game tonight. And finally, after a 6-game schneid, and for most professional basketball players, would have been very happy with the performances Anthony Edwards been putting up recently, but they haven't been very Anthony Edwards-esque until last game, and he looks like that dude again. And the Mavs thought they had it easy from here on out, but the Wolves are going to play up to 11 and steal this one and keep the series going.
So you're saying it's going to 6?
At least 6. 6, I think, is going to be Dallas's game to close it out. I think Minnesota gets one more tonight.
Super cold take radio.
Okay,
right?
Icy boys.
I got you right here.
Okay.
After 5 games, it cannot be closer than 3-2. That's super cold radio. But 3-2.
Mathematically, there's not a lot of other options.
No, there's not. That is it. It has to be. If the series is continuing, 3-2. Has to.
Unless they're playing best of 9, which they're not.
No one does.
Yeah, they're not. They don't do that.
But 3-2 feels a lot different when you were down 3-rip.
Correct.
It's a different 3-2 if you were at 3-0.
Yep. You got a little pep in your step, a little more confidence. You got that swagger back.
Mm-hmm.
You play with a little less urgency, a little lighter. Got that monkey off your back.
So that's the thing I do. Like if I'm Anthony Edwards and I was leaving Dallas 2 days ago, at my locker in the locker room, you know what I do? I put $100 bill underneath the foot of the stool that I was sitting on at the locker, and I say, I'll be back to get you at game 6.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like I do a little psychological thing. You know what I mean?
Okay. They're taking that money. That money will not be there.
Yeah. But
the first person to wander past it.
You do it for the story.
Yeah. They're taking it. No one's going to hear the story.
Who's wandered
because they're
past
taking
it?
the money immediately.
Is Wander Past It a Cuban baseball player that you know?
Wander Pastit.
Wander Pastit.
That's how you pronounce it. Yeah, that $100 bill is gone immediately. First guy to clean that locker is like, oh, thank you, Anthony Edwards, for this tip. Don't worry, you don't have to come back and get it. Come back and give me more.
I found a new thing over the course of yesterday when there was no NBA playoff basketball.
Okay, that's exciting.
Where the internet has taken sweet old footage of like old timey basketball, like Jerry West and stuff, and they put hip hop music remixes over it.
That's fantastic.
Have you seen this?
Instead of like Benny Hill music, they put hip hop on it.
Yeah, so it's like Jerry West, like running the floor, like snatching ankles, the whole thing, but it's got a cool hip hop soundtrack. Have you seen any of this?
I know what I'm doing during the commercial break.
It's the best thing I've ever seen. Because like JJ Redick the other day was like, hey, Jerry West couldn't hang today or whatever, and people get all worked up. But when you put him with cool hip hop soundtracks, you're like,
could he?
Yeah.
Now
like,
it's a maybe.
Actually, that pull up jumper from free throw line extended looks pretty cool.
Sure. Never using your left hand or going between your legs or being able to turn the other way.
Putting your head down but somehow keeping it up. And you're like, that's classic Jerry.
Jerry West broke ankles. He just slightly pivoted to the right. Wasn't even a move at all whatsoever.
There's something so very fun about going back and looking at footage from like the 60s, 70s. Because cameras don't have like any sort of gyros in them or anything.
Sure.
And you feel sick after watching it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, this whole thing is like trying to follow the OJ chase because the camera is so bumpy.
I mean, do you feel sick because of the camera or because they didn't let black people play it yet? Which one?
Are you asking me specifically?
Yeah, you specifically.
The camera.
Yeah, the camera?
The camera.
The camera mostly?
Would other people say otherwise?
Sure. One would think.
Is there a group of individuals?
I'd be very upset.
Hey,
as am I.
After yesterday's reaction to Major League Baseball, Negro League Baseball stats, I learned a lot about a lot of people.
A lot of people. Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot about.
There's maybe 1.5 good arguments.
Okay.
Why you don't include them. I didn't hear any of the good ones. I heard a lot of the bad ones.
You heard because they're black.
Yeah.
That's what people said.
And they said it without saying it directly, which slightly impressed me.
Do you want me to have a real conversation where I think it was a little bit of an overcorrection? Oh, I could have that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could absolutely.
That's reasonable.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
For me to say,
hey, they didn't play each other. Why would you count the stats of people who didn't play in the same league or play against each other? Hey, decent argument.
Mm-hmm.
Well, close to being valid.
Josh Gibbs never hit a single home run off. Fill in your favorite old-timey nickname baseball pitcher.
Yeah, let's see him try that off old Four Fingers McGinty. A triple dog dare you, Joshy boy.
On air, you're going to say triple dog dare?
Yeah.
Dang, dude. It's brutal. Here's my thing. If your take is we can't use history to update history, I got a problem.
Okay.
And if you're saying that, it's because you're afraid to say the reason you actually think we shouldn't update history.
Okay.
You're telling me I have a big bowl of history in front of me? I have a big forever cowboy stew of history?
Yeah.
And I could add more history to it.
Yeah.
And still have the same history. It's the same stew of history. Now, if you tell me the history I'm adding has a little too much pepper in it for you,
sure,
just say that.
All right. The Tris Speaker estate will never recover from him dropping out of the top 10 of all-time batting averages. Okay, now do it. Say it, Kalina. Say it. Kalina.
Say what?
Who's Tris Speaker?
Yeah, we got you.
Say that.
Okay, Who is Tris Speaker?
Yeah, good question.
I want the world of sports history, which, by the way, I think is my favorite type of history. Art history, dead last. Art history sucks. The worst part of history is art history.
Art how?
In baseball.
That's baseball.
He's a baseball.
That's baseball and baseball. Art history.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, there are a handful of exceptions to every rule.
Mm-hmm. That's one of them.
If art is a name,
yeah, and he's part of history.
Also, if your name's Arthur and you go with art, that's a tough move to hold on to that as an adult. Like as a kid, I think art is fine.
No. Kid, you're arty. Adult, you're art. And when you're like,
When are you Arthur?
when you're in a position of authority, like I don't know,
A king?
a king.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good time.
No
That's
one's
probably
a-
the best time.
No one's ever like, hey, King Art of Camelot.
Yeah,
Ugh.
not if you're a 60s and 70s folk singer. That's for sure.
Help me.
Arthur Garfunkel. If you have an afro and you sing folk songs, that's not the time to go with Arthur.
I hate that I didn't get that one.
That's okay. It's a long show today. 2 hours and 15 minutes to go, my friend. I mean, 2 hours and 6 minutes, technically.
JJ Redick is going to become the new head coach of the Lakers.
I called it long ago.
You did. Tyronn Lue just got an extension with the Clippers.
Okay.
The two head coaches in the city of Los Angeles are two of the, I can't believe they stuck around that long and played that long and scored that many point guards in the history of the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty impressive.
I think Tyronn Lue still plays pickup ball today.
Oh, he goes to the Y every morning. I saw him there a couple months ago
You saw Tyronn Lue
at the
Albuquerque.
the Horn location, obviously, of Albuquerque's YMCA. Yes, I did.
There are no more basketball.
Oh, wait. Crap. That was Brandon Ortega. I get them confused
They
all
don't.
the
Nope.
time.
One is AAPI.
He's like he does investigations for people for money,
Yeah,
like Magnum.
that's correct.
Mm-hmm. Magnum AAPI.
I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
JJ Redick becoming the head coach, I think, is the end of guys that just know how to coach basketball. I think now it's all former players that are good in front of cameras. Like, this is all you're looking for moving forward for basketball.
Yeah,
teams.
you need the good coaches in high school and college. Because by the time, with the knowledge that we have about the current NBA, do you really need the best coach on the planet anymore? No, you need three good players and a couple of guys that fit into your salary cap. That's what you need.
I don't understand the mindset of putting former players with zero coaching experience as your head coach. If you were to be like, hey, JJ, come in and be an assistant, sure. Face of the team, though? What? Like, I think I'm very confused on that.
I mean, you're talking like Green Bay Packers quarterbacks. You're talking about the Pat Riley arc. You bring him in, you let him cut his teeth under a more experienced coach, then you propel him when you think he's ready, which is usually the best method.
If the bare minimum is knowing the game and being able to talk about the game,
Yeah.
which I believe is the bare minimum, I don't think you know what it takes to be the head coach of anything.
Especially LeBron's coach. I mean, he's been doing a podcast with LeBron.
Why did you mispronounce Ronnie?
He's been doing a podcast with LeBron James for months now,
LeBron
which is the longest job interview I've ever heard of. But he must have done a really good job because he's about to be the coach of the Lakers.
It just takes so much more. In the days of like whiteheads out there, like coaching, they're all gone. Like, where's Greg Popovich?
Pop's the last one. He's the last one.
Yeah, there's no Nelson. They're all they're all gone. And there was even like dudes that like could never hoop, like Quinn Snyder. You know, there were dudes where you looked at that dude and you're like, this dude kind of looks like a dad. Like, I'll listen to him.
Sure.
This guy looks like my father.
Mm-hmm.
I have reason to listen to him. Not anymore. Now it's itty bitty Tyronn Lue. Although he's been around for a while, so he's not really the best example.
He's had success. Yeah. He's had success with different organizations.
But JJ
he's
Redick,
legit. Yeah.
JJ Redick feels to me like if Jeff Hornacek wanted to start coaching in 99.
I think you being almost 40 and me being 40,
I'm almost 40.
we've seen so many bad player coaches. I don't think that's the case anymore. Like, we've seen Larry Bird fail. We've seen Jason Kidd fail. We've seen a laundry list of ex-players do that thing and fail. Just because you have, like, you're a Hall of Fame talent doesn't mean it immediately translates into coaching. But I think you're way better off of having, like, an end-of-the-bench guy. I mean, how often in his career did J.J. Redick play 40 minutes? Not often. He's usually coming off the bench and grabbing buckets.
Hold up. He had some runs, though.
But if you aren't on the court the whole time, you're there watching, you're there thinking, you're there analyzing.
He wasn't on the court the whole time early. He did figure it out down the road, though. When the game expanded to just chuck threes, because he was in the league at that time, he ended up playing a little bit more. Yeah.
But look, I mean, who's his comp? I don't mean on success or experience. His playing career, he was Steve Kerr. He's basically Steve Kerr Jr. Steve Kerr's had a ton of success being a coach.
He's not even Steve Kerr.
He did get handed Steph Curry, but he was still a good coach besides that.
Steve Kerr won chips.
I think J.J. Redick's going to do just fine.
No.
If he's on a short list of dudes that I think could come into a team with zero experience and be successful.
If he does just fine, it's not because of him. It's because of anyone would do just fine.
With two people in the LeBron James lineage?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's some examples. We're going to run a little long here, Kaylina. There's some examples of when a player, and we're going to use like really good ones. We're not going to use crappy ones, right? There's an example of when the best players to do it go into coaching, and they're not the best coaches. Like the guys who get the game really struggle to coach guys that don't get the game. You know, Larry Bird starts to coach.
Yeah.
Larry Bird is not the best coach. He's the best player.
Sure.
But if Larry Bird looks at you, it's like, what do you mean you don't understand spacing the floor?
Sure.
Like, that's hard to communicate. Wayne Gretzky goes to coach, or GM or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole different thing where, these guys don't love it the way you did, Wayne. I firsthand saw, this is a much smaller example, and I'm just going to give it as an example. It's not really going to hit with anyone. But this cat, Daryl Duran, who's the best arena soccer player ever, is coaching the St. Louis Ambush when I'm broadcasting for them. And he can't figure out why guys who play outdoor soccer can't figure out to use the dasher as an extra attacker. Can't figure out how to pass it to themselves. Because this dude only did that. There's a million examples of when players get there and don't know how to speak the language of the game to players that don't hear the language of the game the way they do.
I think the perfect example is Jason Kidd. He came in straight from getting a jacket, straight from getting a bust in the Hall of Fame, to straight being a coach. And he had a lot of trouble at first. He had to get fired and then reassess and then learn how to coach and then come back and be successful. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but I think one of those dudes is going to be J.J. Redick.
If Steve Nash is right there and available, you're going to go with J.J. Redick? Their coaching careers have the exact same amount of experience. Also, I don't know if Steve Nash wants to be a coach, but you get the point I'm going here.
Right, yeah. No one's going to trust a Canadian. There's no way. You can't, dictate discipline to a team and then say sorry right after it.
Or maybe Steve Nash was like, hey, I'm not trying to draft Bronny.
Yeah, he's like, I watched him play.
JJ is like, no, it's cool.
I agree with Van. He's overrated. Steve Nash trying to discipline a team. Oh, you broke down on the block there after you got crossed over. Sorry. Hey, sorry. Well, what I need you to do is try a little harder here,
Yeah, I'm going to have to pull you from the game now. You can't sit in my seat. You can sit right here.
You're going to have a few less minutes this game because I just can't trust you on the floor there. Sorry. Oh, so sorry.
We're doing our prize picks when we get back.
Okay.
I have some good ones.
All right. I got a bad one.
Good? There's also one of those really enticing, basically gimme mores. We're going to tell you about that as well. It's Tuning On live from Sadie's on 4th, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Hot, the really spicy one, or do you get the not as hot?
Well, I like both. It just depends on what
Okay.
mood I'm in. I have both in my cabinet right now.
That's fair.
But usually
That's a
it's
good
hot
idea
because I'm
to
just
do it.
so indoctrinated to hot chili. I love it so much. This is how indoctrinated to hot chili I am. Both sides of my family are from Carlsbad, New Mexico, have just been addicted to hot chili their whole life. And me growing up right outside of Houston, Texas, we needed a little nibble of New Mexico food. So my grandfather would freeze dry and overnight 2 bushels of green and a bushel of red all the way to Houston, Texas every year so we could have a little bit of New Mexico food while we're in the South.
That's
Fred
awesome.
Slow back on the program.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it makes great Christmas gifts. Like, there's a whole like system and industry here in Mexico for it. Like, I have so many friends who have left the state, and it's like the best thing you can do is just ship them some red or green chili.
Oh, for sure. It never leaves you.
Yeah, they go through it fast too. Like,
I
you
would
just,
never,
the more the merrier.
ever ship green chili to anyone.
Is it because you think they shouldn't have left?
The Sadie's not as hot is still too hot for Fred.
It's way hot. It's so hot. It's delicious.
I mean,
He cuts it with sour cream.
what?
Yeah.
No, that's why sour cream and not like cheese,
cheese.
like queso.
Oh, I do like queso. I
See?
can handle green chili as an ingredient. You make it a feature, miss me.
That's fair. I really can't handle green chili either. I was
No,
really good.
No
the first...
human being can. It's designed to harm you.
That's
Okay.
it's designed to harm predators. It is beautiful for human beings. The endorphins, dopamine, and norepinephrine that it releases when you're having a delicious, spicy New Mexican salsa. Get out of here.
Can we place our prize pick, please?
Get out of here.
I got a lineup.
Okay.
Also, keep in mind the Dustin Poirier significant strikes is currently at 0.5, and you have to take more on it. And here's the thing: that's as close to a certainty in life as anything.
He will have one strike.
He will have one strike.
Yeah.
I promise you that. So that's currently at 0.5. So if you're excited about getting in, get in with us. Promo code KNML. Our $100 up to matching deposit to your up to $100 matching deposit. But if you're like Kaylina, you deposited $69.69.
Nice.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Ant Edwards, rebounds and assists, 14.
Love it.
More.
Yeah, love it.
Take the more.
Yep, I'm into that one.
That's tonight. This game.
And the pair it obviously with
All
the
right.
freebie, the Dustin Poirier.
You're doing that today? I was saving that one for tomorrow.
We could do 5. You could use it up to $25. So $5 boyos if you want to use the Dustin Poirier, or just win one big $20 or $25 big dog. Go all the way with it.
Good looking out. Rudy Gobert, 11 boards. How do you feel about this? I'm gonna go less.
You go less.
Yeah.
Woof.
Hasn't hit 11 boards in his previous 5 games.
He gonna do it now because you picked it.
All right, so I'm going less
Okay.
on the Rudy Gobert. How do you feel about Kyrie Irving, 22.5?
I'm not crazy about
I
it.
want to go less.
Okay.
Going less on that.
I think it's gonna be Luka's game because they're gonna put the kibosh on Kyrie.
I don't hate the idea that is happening. And then moving forward, do you want to go with just the 3, or do you thinking we need to add a little bit more?
Oh, you need some more skin in the game? Or you want
Yeah.
just like a 3-way power play?
I think a 3-way.
Because really you only got to hit 2 of them
Yeah.
because you got the free Poirier.
So add the Poirier,
Yeah.
and then we are set. Okay, so that's what I got right here. Whenever we get back from the break, David Weese-Carl of New Mexico United join us, and we're going to talk more sports and sports-centric content. It's 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. I've never been one to say that big swing music was going to make a comeback. But David Weesey-Carl says it all the time, and he joins us on the program.
That's the thing I always say.
Vice President of Your New Mexico United, DWC VP.
Would you say he's the mighty, mighty boss tone of New Mexico United?
That's ska.
What are you doing?
You
got no squirrel nut zippers?
Squing.
Swing. My favorite genre. Swing. Modern swing.
Dang, you're a real Zoot Suit Riot.
Hey!
Always.
The Squirrel Nut Zippers played the halftime show of the 1999 Super Bowl. I'm not making this up. That's how close, like, swing, big brass music was to making a comeback in the late 90s.
I've never sought out swing, but when it comes on, I'm like, oh, this is fun. I like this. Never sought it out, but it's cool.
Zoot Suit.
Zoot Suit Riot.
Wait, you're talking about the Swingers soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah. 90s smash hit.
Swingers.
Starring and directed by Jon Favreau.
DWC, pull that microphone a little closer to your mouth. So,
okay.
While you were adjusting that, I was looking in the standings for a team that was higher than the New Mexico United in the Western Conference.
Keep searching.
Can you help me find a team higher than the New Mexico United in the Western Conference?
I can try. I don't think I'll be successful.
You can't do it. Nope. The boys are sitting at number 1.
First place in the Western Conference
go.
With a match in hand, which means we played fewer matches than the other teams that are still behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good sign. It's a good place to be.
United, some big bad voodoo daddies right now.
I love this. I love this.
You got and also match in hand against Louisville and 3 against Charleston, and you're on pace to be the leader in wins after your next game, which is wild. This is a team of getting it done.
Yeah, I mean this team under Eric Quill is
better than it's ever been.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think that's right, which is crazy to say considering the run we went on in 2019. But this is the latest in a season we've ever been in first place, and we are in a place where if we play the matches that, to catch up to the number of matches the other teams have, we could expand that lead. It's not like they've played fewer matches than us. We played fewer matches than them, and we're still in first. I said this earlier to somebody, we've had teams in the past, New Mexico United teams that were really, really strong on the field as far as like talent, right? They're just very talented. We've had teams on the field that were really, really strong as far as mentality. I think this is the first team we've had that's really put them both together, and it's showing. First place and in the quarterfinal of the Open Cup. We beat the best team in the Western Conference, the MLS in the Open Cup to get to where we are. I mean, it's exciting to watch. We're scoring goals like crazy. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, you said it, scoring goals like crazy. Beyond scoring more goals than your opponent, some serious, some John Madden analysis there. What's the key to the success so far early in the season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing has been our depth. In years past, we've had a really solid starting 11, which is great. But when you went to the bench, it would at times feel like a drop-off. It doesn't feel that way this year. It feels like we've got, instead of 11 starters, it feels like we've got 23 starters, which, again, has never been the case before. That's particularly the case with our back line. We've had 2 center backs in the past that have been really good, and then maybe a bit of a drop-off. This year we have 4 starting quality center backs, and it's awesome. It's really, really awesome. And guys like Daniel Bruce and Greg Hurst up top scoring goals. The other thing that I would add to
Hold on before you blow past Daniel Bruce.
Yeah, go on, lad.
He's like a different level all of a sudden. Forever he was a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Forever he was a cool guy. He's low-key one of the best players in the league right now. And not to say that he wasn't previously, but he did not regularly play like he was it. Like, there's been a elevation.
He's playing a different position, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay.
He's played wing in the past, and he's played midfield. And he's been very good at it. Heck, he's even played defense at times when we've needed him because he can play everywhere. But he's played at the 9, at striker recently. He and Greg Hurst have been kind of going back and forth at the 9. And, man, he's just so dynamic and he's a pit bull.
Yeah.
And he's small. He represents who we are as New Mexicans, right? He's small, he's undersized, and he never lets that get in the way. He'll fight anyone. He'll go up and he'll get in anybody's face. He'll go up and win headers over guys twice his size, and he scores goals. And the other piece that I was going to add to that, and it goes directly to Daniel Bruce, is we've scored 24 goals this season, right, in all competitions.
Pretty good.
14 different goal scorers. That's unheard of.
Wild.
That's how many goal scorers you have in a whole season. We're about a third of the way through the year.
The Englishman, Daniel Bruce, real New Mexican. You heard it here.
That's 100% right. Very few players more New Mexican than that man. 100%.
I love everything about it.
Abdi Muhammad, he ain't going nowhere.
He's not. Signed him on. He was on a 25-day contract, signed at the beginning of this past month. 25 days came and went, and he's on a full season contract.
Way to go.
He'll be here. I mean, he's played every single minute since he joined the team, and he joined 2 days before a match. He's played every minute. He's been phenomenal. He's gotten USL Team of the Week in 2 of the 3 weeks since he got here. And again, he signed on through the rest of this year with an option for next year too. I mean, he's been an absolute revelation. Abdi's been amazing.
Checking something.
I mean, the team chemistry, the culture, the winning. Like, what was the big qualifier to keep him here?
For Abdi, yeah. I mean, again, he's in a position of need first and foremost, and he's dominated that position of need. I mean, since he's gotten here, he hasn't lost a single duel, which is unheard of. He's played 3 matches. He's won every duel in every match. That's crazy. Played every minute in every match. That's crazy. He's a humble guy. We've won every match since he got here. We had a perfect month of May. Went 5-0-0. Best team in the USL Championship right now. We're number 1 in the power rankings. I mean, this is a team to watch. And if you don't have tickets for next Sunday's match, get them now, because that's probably going to be our highest attended match since 2019. Ticket sales are looking through the roof on that. It's likely going to be a sellout.
All right, so I'm looking ahead a little bit. I don't like to look ahead in the next game, but I was thinking about booking a flight. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at July 11th. I got this idea.
Okay,
So
tell me more.
I want to head out to Los Angeles.
July 10th is that match.
Oh, it's on the 10th.
July 10th is the
I
match,
only
yeah.
just update something real quick because I had it. Google had me wrong here.
Whoopsie, Googs.
Yeah,
Get it together,
sorry.
Googs.
All right, so I'm looking at the 10th. Now, it looks like here I can fly round trip to Los Angeles where I'll be able to watch my New Mexico United play Los Angeles.
Yep.
And it's, oh, man, this is well over like $400 for a flight.
It is. It's
So
expensive to get out there.
Should I book that right now or should I wait?
I would hold off.
Oh.
For how long?
Yeah, like how long should I
How
hold
long
off?
should we wait?
I would, hypothetically speaking, of course, this is all hypothetical.
This is all
Sure.
hypothetical.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I would pay attention to New Mexico United social media channels tomorrow.
Oh, okay. There might be like a discount code or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Something fun.
Something might happen tomorrow.
Something fun, something exciting, something that we did in 2019 that maybe coming back.
Because I'm talking about the Open Cup.
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch
You're talking about the Open Cup
United
quarterfinal.
play in the quarterfinal of the Open Cup.
That's right. Look,
in Los Angeles.
final 8 teams in America for the prize of being named the top team in the country, regardless of division.
I have $442.
Yeah, you might. Maybe you spend less.
Oh.
I like spending less money.
You can spend it on better things,
2 things I love.
like chips and salsa at Sadie's.
Supporting United,
They come free with
saving
your
money.
meal. They come free with your meal. Chips and salsa are included.
Not to
with
go.
your meal. No, not even get them to go. That's
Yeah.
another. Okay, so don't book today. Wait for updates from the New Mexico United tomorrow.
I think that would be a good idea for anybody listening who wants to go see the quarterfinal of the U.S. Open Cup. Final 8 teams in America.
Also, good advice for anyone not listening.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyone who is listening, tell people who aren't listening.
Yep. Tell your friends.
Don't book your flight tonight.
Not tonight. That
Not
would be
tonight.
probably the worst night to
the
book.
worst night would
tonight.
be tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most
So
likely.
tomorrow, if I go to New Mexico, UTD.com.
Or social media channels at New Mexico UTD. Any channel.
Any of them.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Around
LinkedIn.
10 a.m.
Yeah, it could be around that time.
Could be around 10 a.m. tomorrow. Just
could
check it out.
Could be.
You got a LinkedIn?
We do have a LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're big on the linked.
Do people tag you as an employer on there that don't actually work there? Because this has happened with Duke City Championship.
I have actually,
Nice.
I have seen people say that they work at New Mexico United when they don't. That has happened
All right.
on more than one occasion.
Changing my resume tonight.
Yep.
People are like, pro wrestler, Duke City Championship. Like, you are not.
Yep.
D-Lorded.
That's not you. That ain't you, bro.
I hit him like strong bad. I go, D-Lorded.
Burninating the countryside.
Thank
Trogdor?
you.
Yeah, I got
That's
you.
a very dated
I got you.
reference.
I got that reference.
You got one more in here or no?
Yeah, I'm here.
David Weesey Carl continues with us after the break. The world of sports adjacent content.
Go Phils.
Did you meet Kaylina yet? She's back at the studio.
Hi, Kaylina. Go Phils.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, that was kind of nice. I like that.
Kaylina seems great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
seems
I
is
try.
the verb there.
Oh, why are you mean to everybody back in the studio? This is like a running gag, and I don't like it.
They're so far away.
Is it a gag?
They can do
I
nothing.
hope it is.
Is it a gag? Rude. After all I do for you.
Yeah. She's going to take us off air.
Yeah.
We'll see how she performed at the Vaniversary.
Oh,
on
our
Saturday.
anniversary.
I'm really bummed I can't make that, by the way, guys.
You've been to a Vaniversary.
I have. I've been to a Vaniversary, but I'm bummed I can't make this one.
This will be my first one. And I think I was invited before Steve, so take that up.
Who is Steve?
Ooh.
Steve.
Infamous Steve.
Steve?
I met him once.
Steve Palmisano?
Stucker.
The Albuquerque. Oh, Steve Stucker definitely got an invite.
He
You
got
invited Steve Stucker?
first. He got a first.
We
That's
went.
the first one I sent.
We want he and Larry Barker to stand.
Fight.
Well,
Yeah, well,
as a licensed promoter, if it
Oh my God! you want to talk about how you immediately? I mean, not that you have trouble selling out Duke City Championship Wrestling, but you get Steve Stucker and Larry Barker
be something special.
steel cage match. Oh my God!
Yes.
Come on.
Get our friends over at Valley Fence just to build one, do that whole thing.
Yeah. Forecast calls for pain.
And here comes Marissa Mays with the
Beat
With
me
a
to
steel chair.
Tuning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. David Weesey Carl joining us on the program. He's the vice president of the New Mexico United. The New Mexico United are playing soccer all the way up until November. Go see a game. You said next Sunday is like selling out for real?
Yeah, it's our schools out night is the theme on that. And so we're getting a lot of families bringing kids, kind of celebrating the summer, that kind of thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're on the road this weekend on Sunday at Monterey Bay. They're in third place. We're in first, so that's
beatable.
It's a good matchup. Every match is winnable for us.
And it's Hartford at home, is that right?
Then it's Hartford at home for schools out.
Hey, they are struggling.
They've had a rough start to the year. But we can't take them lightly. That's the thing, man. We've learned in years past when you drop. It's happened with Las Vegas in years past is what comes to mind. But you drop points to a team that you quote unquote should beat, and then at the end of the season, we could have had a home playoff game. We didn't have a home playoff game because we didn't beat Vegas in July.
Right,
stuff like that. So let's beat these teams.
Like everything about that. Now, Ron Patel was with us last week.
Yep.
He is the president of the New Mexico United.
Yes, that's true.
That is your boss. I want to be very transparent here.
So, yeah.
And he said on this program that he's very excited about bringing Duke City Championship Wrestling to a tailgate.
I don't know if you were supposed to say that on air. Did you say that on air?
I believe he said that on air. If not, I'm projecting it.
Yeah, well.
So
While he is my boss, I am in charge of what gets said on air, so I'm going to need to have a conversation.
Okay.
Oh.
So here's the question. Can I start designing New Mexico United luchador masks, or can I not do that?
Those already exist, my friend.
Oh, so mad. Can I have one?
Wait, I know a guy.
Oh, I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Are you the guy?
I'm not the guy,
Oh.
but I'm the guy who knows the guy.
Do you have one?
On you.
On me, in my pocket right now. No, we actually had a player last season get sent off because he pulled one onto his head after scoring a goal. And so
How do I not know about
he
that?
already had a yellow card. And you got a second yellow for
he's
putting
a
the mask
hero.
on,
He's
got
a
sent
hero.
off. We won the game anyway, so it's fine. But if we had lost that game, Coach would have been furious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like soccer fan and pro wrestling fan is the same fan.
I think there's a lot of overlap.
Like-
That Venn diagram is almost a circle.
They love weird stuff.
I think I'm the only person who's just outside that Venn diagram. It's not that I dislike
because you
wrestling.
don't really like soccer. Oh, wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've just never gotten into it. And I'm open to the idea. We've talked about this. And every single time I can almost go to Duke City Championship Wrestling and something comes up.
Skip it.
It's not a skip. It's something happens. When's the next one, by the way?
If you want to take it to the next level, if you sit in the supporter section, it's a circle. That Venn diagram is
I'm a
100%
supporter
over.
section guy.
You're in the booth working.
Yeah, but before I worked for the team, I was supporter section every single match.
That's how you shined.
There's one.
I love the
There's
supporter
always
section.
one.
When's the next one?
June 28th. It's a Friday. June 28th at the historic El Rey. So
We don't have a game.
So we're talking about weird stuff, though, right?
Yep.
So the Home Run Derby X is coming to Isotopes Park. I don't know if you saw this big announcement. It's a softball hybrid of home runs and baseball. They're going to do it at the park. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, when's that?
Friday, August 23rd.
That's fun. I love that.
Yeah, it sounds great. What is the soccer equivalent of like that weird
Crossbar challenge.
Yeah, tell me about
Crossbar
that. Like,
challenge.
Does that travel the country? Is that a thing you guys just do in practice? Like,
yeah, players do it in
is it
practice all the
carny?
time. If players do it in practice all the time. It's like very well known around the world of soccer where you decide the distance, right? So it could be top of the box, it could be a little further out, but essentially everybody takes a ball and their goal is to hit the crossbar with the ball. First person to do it advances. You kind of just like home run derby. You advance.
It's like knockout.
It's just like knockout, right? Exactly. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm terrible at it. Just like I'd probably be terrible at a home run derby, considering I was terrible at baseball as a child.
I
Probably
have
didn't get
not
any.
practiced.
Yeah,
at
probably
all
didn't get any
since.
better since then.
I'm that way with pool, where I don't understand why I'm not really good, but I never practiced.
I feel
or
the
tried.
same way.
Oh, yes. You put zero effort into something
So why aren't I good? at
and
it?
wonder why you're not successful.
I'll kick your ass at ping pong.
You played tennis in college.
Yeah.
Of course you're good at ping
I
pong.
said what I said.
You've been
Oh, my
playing.
God.
You've been playing pickleball.
No, absolutely not.
Why?
Pickleball's great. There's nothing wrong with pickleball.
Are
It's
you
just
are you racist? Why have you been?
against pickles.
Against pickles?
The pickles. I actually hate pickles too.
Okay.
See,
See, this is why.
that's it. It's just
We're
pickles.
getting to the root here.
No, nothing wrong with pickleball. Pickleball is great. It gets people out, gets people active, but it is a little frustrating as a tennis guy when the pickleballers take over your tennis court. But-
turf.
I encourage people to go play pickleball. Keeps them active. I love it. I think it's a great thing. Just not for me.
We sponsored a team last week. So Sonny Funsock, who's the assistant tennis coach over at UNM,
Yeah.
he entered a pickleball tournament, and he was like, "Hey, I'm going to win this whole thing. I'm going to be the champion of the world, third in mixed doubles."
I sprained my wrist a couple weeks ago, hence the
Yeah.
thing here.
It's a bummer.
And I played in a tennis tournament anyway.
Super
because
smart.
it's my favorite tournament of the year. I want to win that tournament really bad. I made it all the way to the quarterfinal,
Congratulations.
and then went out because I couldn't generate any power.
Was it at ATC?
No, it was at Tanawan Country Club.
Okay.
Oh, well, okay. A little tennis flex there.
All right. You need a code to get into that one.
Yeah. What's the code?
Yep. I got nothing. I had nothing witty.
Tickets available for the next home game at
NewMexicoUT.com/tickets.
the next away game you can view at
ESPN Plus and Estrella TV.
I wanted to have like a little pint in public and go watch it. Where would I go?
You can go to any number of locations. We'll be over at Sandia Sports Bar at Sandia Resort and Casino.
That's a nice
That's a good
one.
get.
That'll be a fun one. That'll be a big party there for this Sunday's
On
match. Sunday night match.
The anniversary Saturday, United Soccer at
That's your
Sandia
weekend
on
sorted.
Sunday. David Weesey, Carl, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
When we get back from the break, headlines of the day, it's Zooming On. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
on deck circle. Amory.
Mike's hot.
This is Two Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On. I am Fred Slow, Van Nunley with me.
Hello.
We are at Sadie's on 4th.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, I did not eat Sadie's. I ate the Blue Plate Special at the 6-6 Diner Van, which was the Grand Slam grilled cheese. Have you had it?
No.
It's every type of cheese in the building on toast. And then I, because I party, dipped it into a bowl of chili, and I was the happiest human being on earth. Chili, the food, not the ingredient.
When I have like a bummer of a day,
Yeah,
I need like a hug from grandma.
yeah.
Rest in power, queen. Grilled cheese and tomato soup is like my favorite thing to have.
Grilled cheese and chili, to me, the food, not the ingredient,
Mhm.
is as comforting of food that a human being can have. Like, it is warm. It is chewy. It's like a hug in my mouth.
Being a person from Texas who had a lot of chili,
The food, not the ingredient.
the soup, it doesn't hold the same place in my heart as tomato soup with the grilled cheese.
You're saying there was a lack of tomato soup for you?
In chili, with an I, yes.
No, you don't put tomato soup in a chili. I mean, like, the ratio of chili to tomato soup consumption for you, what was it?
With the grilled cheese,
Yeah.
like I'm 100 to 0.
Oh,
Yeah.
say we grew up different.
So yeah, chili's supposed to have with saltine crackers.
You can.
You either dump it on a
Yeah.
spoonful at a time, or you do some little crunchy boys,
Well, it's the same
ride
thing with,
over the top and do the same thing, but with a spoon.
same thing with tomato soup, except you butter your saltines.
I've never had grilled cheese with chili. I mean, I would
Oh, it's
accept
heaven.
cornbread, but we do cinnamon rolls.
With
Grilled
chili?
cheese with
Yeah.
cinnamon rolls,
That's
or cinnamon rolls
awesome.
with chili.
Cinnamon rolls with chili.
Both
It's
are
awesome.
awful answers.
Yeah,
what are you
that
doing?
second one,
It's
that's
good.
not correct.
It's good.
So you
It
get a
is
cinnamon
correct.
roll,
Yeah.
and you smother it in Texas chili.
Roll of the
I mean, you
cinnamon.
could. Yeah, it's great.
Roll of
Just
the cinnamon.
roll of the cinnamon.
I swear by it, man.
I don't.
Okay.
That's my
That-
childhood.
I'm going to be so upset
And
when
again, let's clarify: you're not stoned when you do this,
No,
because you don't participate
no,
in the devil's lettuce.
no. It might kill me.
No Satan salad for you at all.
Unfortunately,
whenever you bring cinnamon
That's
roll,
weed behavior, Kaylina.
whenever
that's what people keep telling me. What?
whenever Kaylina brings roll of the cinnamon to the Vanniversary this Saturday night at Howie's Sports Page, I'm gonna partake.
Is there going to be chili? You just want me to bring the cinnamon rolls?
I don't think you will. Yeah, I don't think you will.
I don't eat that much when I drink,
Yeah.
unless I'm
Oh.
at Howie's, because you can get Cajun tater tots. So good.
Oh
Well,
my
I'm
God,
not
the
gonna be there
Cajun tots at Howie's. My
like,
goodness, they're magical.
All night. I'll just be there at the beginning, so you could like eat and then get your eating out of the way.
It goes all night.
Yeah. So just
It's all night.
All night.
Howie's is all night.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
just to
Quite
be
late.
really clear.
So
Quite.
you keep saying. So the invite says when does all night begin?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Great
So-
answer.
So I'm at 6-6 Diner. Here's the point I'm trying to get.
Oh yes,
Okay.
so much cheese.
Yeah, I had a grilled cheese and I had chili.
hmm
And it was a little like constant hug around my tonsils.
Okay,
And now I'm gonna have Sadie's tonight. So what I'm saying is I'm hitting back-to-back home runs.
you're doing good.
That's what I'm saying.
You're doing something right in your
Thank
life.
you.
You get 66 Diner and Sadie's back to back.
It's a good life.
I'm happy for you, but like cinnamon rolls, I'm telling you.
Hey,
I mean-
Kaylina, you want to see my super shiny quarter? If
That's
you're
a
on
quarter?
Facebook Live or YouTube Live,
You know who
That
has
was
a
very
bunch
shiny.
of quarters now is one Jalen Waddle,
it's a perfect segue.
as he has just got 84.75 milli.
So what
that
happened,
include-
Kaylina? I left it in my pocket.
Fan, kill this story. So he had
And
76.
it went through the washing machine,
damn it, dude.
Kaylina.
That's impressive.
We regularly have this conversation when Van brings on terrible visual bits. Just throw that. I mean,
Jalen Waddle doesn't have to do his own laundry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the Jalen Waddle contract, $76 million guaranteed, 84.75, makes him one of the top five highest paid. I'm into it, I guess. The money's going to keep going up for everyone. But my first thought was, oh my God, the Dallas Cowboys cannot afford CeeDee Lamb.
Because he's going to want number one money.
You would think.
Yeah. I like this. He's like the best number two, I think, in football. So him getting number two money when he could be a number one somewhere else, especially you do it before his free agency year and you get him for less than what he would have got, that just means he likes the team, he likes the culture, and he's taking a hometown discount.
There's one more that you're leaving out, and that is he will be number one in 2025 because that's when Tyreek is supposed to see $56 million, and that's not going to come to fruition.
Oh,
no, Tyreek Hill will be gone after this year. This is his last year in Miami.
I mean, but Miami's got to pay a portion of that contract to get rid of him. They got to pay 25% up to half to unload him.
I mean, I've seen other teams do dumber things. So, like, am I a guy that would tell you that Cleveland would come up with all the money to take him off their hands to pair for or 2 seasons with their rapist quarterback? Yeah, I think they would. You know, there's places for him to land, but Jalen Waddle is 1 season away from being a number one guy with number one money.
So, all right, I don't even know if that's number one money. I think that's number two money. I think he settled to get less than he would have in the open market just to stay there. I mean, that shows that they're doing something good in Miami for a guy to negotiate below what I perceived his market value to be.
I think top 5 is his market value, though. Like, what are you saying? He has to be a number one? Because
you've got every new stud wide receiver to go on the market has to reset the market every single time. If he wanted to wait till his free agent year, I guarantee you he would have reset the market for somebody on another team. But he decided to take less than what he would have gotten in the open market to stay where he was.
Well, the years make it to where you can maybe get it twice. It's only a 3-year deal. So you take it now. If you're doing what you're describing, guys like CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson make a little bit more. That pushes him probably by the time this 3-year run's over, obviously not a top 5 guy, maybe a top 10 guy, but more than likely falling between 10 and 15.
10 and 15. Yeah.
And then he has a chance to move back in. But just like Grandma Slow used to say, you're not gambling if you bet on yourself. Mm-hmm. So if he plays really, really well for the next 3 years and Tua ends up getting paid the way that Tua will get paid. Also, I think I've talked to you about this. I think there's going to be a different salary cap structure for quarterbacks moving forward. I think when they renegotiate, there's going to be every team gets to split $30 million in the quarterback position.
Sure.
And that it won't affect the rest of the team, but whatever. Hear me on that. With that said, he's going to get one more. That'll be the last one he gets, but he's going to get one more. And if you lose Tyreek in 2025, which you will, you then have realistic number $20 million to pay to someone to be a number 2 to Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
It just continues. You don't miss a beat.
Or you do your due diligence and you draft a number 3 for now who becomes a number 2 when you get rid of that hideous contract. And again, that contract for Tyreek Hill, if he's still playing like Tyreek Hill in 2 years, $50 mill's not that bad because the salary cap's going to keep going up and up and up. Revenue is going to keep going up and up and up. And it's not going to look like an insane amount of money in a couple years when Justin Jefferson gets $60 million a year or some insane amount of money. Fill in the amount.
The Jerry Jeudy contract to Cleveland is starting to look pretty realistic. Like, it's not – I don't think it's a winning formula to overpay 3 guys because if it is what you're saying, you'll end up in a situation where you have Tyreek Hill, Tua, and Waddle, and they'll all be making $100 million plus from 3 guys. And I just don't know if it's sustainable.
But again, like after your left tackle, I mean, your 2 wide receivers are the 3rd and 4th most important players on the field. The guy who protects the quarter, obviously the quarterback 1. The guy who protects the quarterback's blind side, number 2. The guy who catches the ball from the quarterback, number 3. And then you can make an argument of any position after that.
I did just find a projection that agrees with you greatly. So it looks like roughly, because I'm going to use the numbers of Waddle, a $28 million contract in 2026 is about equal to a $19 million contract in 2023.
Right.
So, yeah, maybe my perspective is it doesn't have inflation in mind or cap expansion or blah,
Sure.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I think they got him for pennies on the dollar. I mean, pennies on the dollar has a negative connotation, but it's definitely a hometown deal, and he wants to stay there, and he's willing to take less than market value. So good for him. Like maybe he's pulling a Tom Brady. Maybe they can convince more players on that team to pull a Tom Brady and take less than their market value and keep compiling better players.
I don't think it's less though. Top 5 is it. Like that's if you're doing franchise tag, that's what you would get anyways. Like I think this is exact market value. I think there've been some really overinflated ones. I don't think this is an overinflated one. I think this is a regular one. Also, just to clarify, 5th-year option and his 4-year salary. Therefore, if he were to stick around for all 5 years, it's $21.75 a year, and that's an absolute win.
Yeah, that's going to be nothing by then.
Well, good for they. Market is what it is when Waddle's locked up. So,
and again, we know what we know about the salary cap. It's fake.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. I mean, next season they could renegotiate this contract completely, add a roster bonus, add something, some kind of language that hasn't even invented yet, and then the salary cap hit isn't even there at all. And then if it doesn't work for him that year, they do it to another player, and they do it to him the year after. It's all made up.
The Chicago Bears are hosting Hard Knocks. Let's go.
Yeah.
I believe the NFL will protect Caleb Williams so substantially here. I believe this will be the softest one since the last Dallas Cowboys one. I don't believe it will have the entertainment value that has previously been there the last 2 years, which has been there with the Lions and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Cool. Don't get your hopes up too high.
Hard disagree. I think they're going to let Caleb Williams let his freak flag fly. Like, how are you going to protect a guy who's that weird and quirky 24 hours a day, unironically? Like, he's not being weird just to be weird. He's not trying to get the hot topic crowd or whatever. This is just him being weird. And I don't think you can, like, if you're going to follow him around with cameras 24/7 and candy pick your storylines, sure, they might let some things fall to the wayside. But you can't follow a guy around like that for 5 weeks and not get a bunch of weird stuff. I guarantee you will.
You know who they did that with, which is a carbon copy of this, was Baker Mayfield. The last time that Hard Knocks was with the team who had the first overall draft pick was 2018 in the Browns. And Baker Mayfield came out looking pretty weird after that. I think you're messing yourself up if you're the Chicago Bears and you overexpose. And I think Caleb Williams is messing himself up if he doesn't maximize the attention, doesn't maximize the outlet. Therefore, you're going to end up with a real interesting conflict between what's best for Caleb Williams, the brand, the individual, and what's best for the Chicago Bears football team.
Sure. I'm legit excited to see how that wide receiver room congeals. It's going to be fun. Also, Bears fan is insane. If the Bears fans aren't the star of this thing, they're messing up. The culture, the history, like the sustained averageness, the sustained mediocrity of the organization, like, it has to be the main storyline.
There's like 2 ways to do it, right? Like HBO Sports, sun rising over Lake Michigan, the Bean right there in the park, a shot of Lincoln Park. So, some, good looking but not too underdressed skating on the boardwalk individuals, Soldier Field, the big pan. There's you're seeing it as it's coming together. The gate that was equipment was stolen through, the camera. Camera rolls into the building. You cut to then immediately a skyline that kind of looks like Detroit, and you pan out and it's the NFL draft, and Caleb Williams is right there, and he's holding up the jersey, and you go into that kind of conversation immediately. Or you do the other one where it's seedy and it's the South Side and it's garbage on the streets and the sound of violence, and you tell that you can go either way with this. One of them will be good. The first one's been every other episode ever done.
It's going to be History of the Bears, Ditka, Butkus.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live sketches.
Perry, Saturday Night Live sketches.
Yeah.
It's going to be the whole thing. Yeah.
I don't want that one. Give me the really good, like what This American Life would do if they were talking about the city of Chicago and the idea that this team is the identity of the city, the rejuvenation of all. Give me all of that. I want that. I want Ira Glass's version.
Also, I think if all the great momentum they had, revamping their defense the last couple of years and then filling up that wide receiver room and getting the number 1 overall pick for air quotes, can't miss prospect.
Yeah.
To see Hard Knocks come in and completely jinx them and ruin all that momentum, that is just as yummy as it being the best season of Hard Knocks.
Does he play in the preseason?
I mean, is there going to be a preseason? Aren't they just taking away games willy-nilly? Yeah.
I think you play the first half of both games. That's what I would do with them. If I were to, if I had the first overall draft pick quarterback and I had to expose him to the thing, that's what I would do. I don't know if that's correct. I don't even know why I really feel that way. But I do know if people are going to come up with coin out of their pocket, put him in there the first half, let him play with the ones. I even say leave the ones in an extra series just to see what can happen.
Yeah.
Sarah Heffern of Watermelon Mountain Ranch joins us whenever we get back from the break. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Sarah Heffron joins us from Watermelon Mountain Ranch. Let's go. She's got a big one, not this week, but next week. It's Fashion and Compassion Life-Saving Luncheon and Fashion Show, Saturday, June the 8th. That's 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It'll be hosted by Van Nunley. Sarah, why are you slumming with Van?
I am not slumming. What are you talking about?
The best looking, most entertaining guy in town, the best possible candidate for this job. Of course she signed me up.
And I want to say last year he started as a model and stepped up and was the most amazing MC for me last year. So how could I not bring him back?
Okay, lack of options. That's what you're saying. So
well, you weren't available. You keep sending me up on stuff, Fred. No, so there's only so much I can do.
That's. I don't know if we're talking personal or professional, but I see what you did there. Sarah joining us. So it's ticketed? How does it work? People come out?
It is ticketed.
Yep.
So we are super stoked. The Marriott Pyramid North is hosting us again this year.
Oh, good venue.
Mm-hmm. I know. They are gorgeous. Yeah. They are amazing. We're going to have light bites with like little English tea sandwich type high tea sale.
Okay. It's adorable.
And mimosas.
Yeah.
And mimosas. Gruwe is sponsoring our mimosa bar. So we'll have mimosas. Normally I do the big and our host is Van Nunley with 2 Men On and do that, but I'm already here. So I don't need to push that as hard as normally.
Well, you got me on the internet. You got me on the social medias. It's enough. You don't want to advertise too hard because there's a certain demographic that I scare away.
Right, but there's a certain demographic that maybe will come my way.
Reptile
like the sports folk, come see my animals. I've got dogs that like to go running. I've got cats that like to go on adventures. It works out well.
So at the 5th annual Fashion and Compassion Show, we're dressing up just dogs? Just humans? Dogs and humans?
So the humans are the quote-unquote escorts for the boys. Oh, boys.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, boys. We only had one interpretation.
Come on, no.
Okay, got it. We're coming back.
The humans are going to escort our dogs down the runway. All of the dogs that are going to be there are going to be absolutely adoptable. They are going to be looking for their forever homes. And all of the proceeds that are going to be from the silent auction, the door prizes, the entry fee, everything, all those proceeds go to Watermelon Mountain Ranch. They go to Molly's Mercy Missions, which help to save the lives of animals that are on death row all throughout the Southwest. So it's here locally, it's rescues in New Mexico, and we actually go into Arizona, Texas, and Mexico at this point.
And so it's 100% no kill, even if the dog looks like Fred. Like, you still don't put it out of its misery. You let it live. You find it finds a good life, a good home.
Well, we'll find even sometimes maybe a foster home to, give Fred a chance at finding his forever home. I think I'm a foster mom for the most part.
Sure.
I just help, dogs and humans find their forever home. And then they can, get that forever life that they need.
Go to wmranch.org right there on the front of the site. You can click on Fashion and Compassion, Life-Saving Luncheon, and Fashion Show Saturday, June the 8th. What does it cost, though? I want friends in. What is it? How does it work? What does it cost?
So if they go to our website, wmranch.org, it's going to be $65 per ticket.
Okay.
And that is the light bites, the mimosa bar, the online, the silent auction, everything else. We are so excited to have people join us for this 5th year. We have Albuquerque Warrior Arts is our title sponsor. Van is going to be our MC again.
Yeah.
We are so excited about having Van back out. Fred paid on me every year.
Well, I've been so fortunate to help in other ways. General admission, $65. There are some tickets still available at wmranch.com. You click right there on the link, and I will hand you my headset as I figure out yours, and you move forward with Van.
So Albuquerque War Arts is the title sponsor, but you wouldn't be able to do it without a bunch of other sponsors in the community. Who else is helping?
Oh, we've got State Farm coming out. We have CPA Riggs Ingram is coming out. The vendor booths are going to be doing little baskets for everybody. So we're so excited. We haven't done this in over a year now, and I cannot wait to have all of these dogs hitting the runway. Willie is a 9-year-old perpetual care dog. He doesn't like other dogs. He is a hard dog to place. This will be his second year actually hitting the runway with us. That's how long he's been with us.
Well,
You feel like this is the year.
The adoption year for Willie.
Yeah.
Oh, it has to be. I know there's a home out there that just wants one like old senior dog that likes to lay in the sun and wants to go on slow walks around the yard. Like that's my bag. If I didn't have a whole circus at my house, like that would be my bag. Like I love my older dogs, and Willie's going to be one of our dogs that's going to hit the runway next week.
New Mexico's largest no-kill animal shelter, Watermelon Mountain Ranch, which can be contacted day and night, really, 7 days a week. Is that how it works?
Well, yeah, for me.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
I always call you direct.
I mean, y'all call me at all hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it has been a thing, right? So it started in 96, question mark. Is that right?
Oh, that is correct.
Okay, so
yes.
96. And then obviously through everything, including COVID to now, you guys have taken in animal. Do you have a number? Do you have an idea?
So the technical year was 96. We are incorporated in 2002, but we're at over 200,000 animals that have come
That's so
through
impressive.
our gates.
Wild. And then the low-cost vet stuff. I know you have a bunch of events.
Yeah.
You got one this weekend, right? You're doing the dog wash?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Placitas. So anyone that is in that northern part of the city, I'll be washing some dogs this coming Saturday up in Placitas for Placitas Appreciation Day. So yes, anyone that wants to come hang out with me for that, you can come.
Thank you.
Wash dogs. Thank you.
This upcoming Saturday is also our anniversary, so that will be a fun thing if you want to solicit anyone there.
I did get a flyer from Van yesterday.
That tracks.
It was special.
It was a very good flyer.
It was special. It sees you guys in every realm that you guys could be besties.
One weird realm.
And I will be coming out to come say hi.
Pull that microphone just a little bit closer to your mouth.
Where you're going to be coming is Howie's Sports Page, OG friend of the show, which is also getting a table at the 5th annual.
Yes. No, I am so stoked that Howie's is actually one of the sponsors.
If another friend of the show wants to be part of the event and get a table, how do they get a hold of you?
They go to wmranch.org. They will see my email, sarahwmr@aol.com. We still have a couple vendor booths available. We still have a couple tables available. Would absolutely love how I was so stoked yesterday to find out that Howie's jumped on board and they're going to help support the animals. It's every vendor, every ticket sold, you're helping to save a life.
If you are like me and you're not available on the 8th, there are a lot of ways to give, including wmranch.org/ways-to-give. It's right there on the homepage. But you have that Amazon wish list that's running all the time. People can buy for that. I know we've talked about in-kind stuff with you all the time, but there are all kinds of resources that the ranch itself needs to help care for animals, and those donations can be made at any time.
Absolutely. We always, the in-kind, gently used sheets, towels, oh my gravy, we're getting into puppy and kitten season right now. So all of that kind of stuff is a huge need. Fosters are big. Especially with the summertime, a lot of people are taking summer hiatus. Kids are off school.
Mm-hmm.
You want to teach those teenagers some empathy. Have them foster a puppy. Have them foster a kitten. It is a huge boom to them. My kids are the ones like, oh my God, another dog, Mom. You brought home another puppy. I'm like, yeah.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely did. But other houses are excited to have puppies and kittens come in. So there's just so many ways to help during the summer months that we greatly appreciate.
The last question I always get from friends of the show who ask about Watermelon Mountain Ranch, which is low-key kind of a lot. What are the fees? What does it cost when the time does come to adopt?
So our fees are going to range from age and size of the dog. As a 501c nonprofit, all of the adoption fees go to the care of the animals.
Mm-hmm.
So our adoption fees are a little higher for puppies and kittens because those are the ones that are in the highest demand. But those fees are going to go to my dog, like Nicholas, who just had a $1,000 surgery and has been with us for 8 years. So those adoption fees for the puppies go back to help offset the cost of the care of our really long-term animals that haven't gone plus.
Sarah's been helping dogs so long, she still has an AOL email. That's how long she's been doing it.
Oh my God, yes. I've been with the ranch 11 and a half years, man. Yes, I know. My people out there like AOL is like, yeah, we're keeping it alive. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just keeping it light.
Dogs and AOL. That's who you're saving. Sarah, anything we missed before we let you go?
No, you guys are awesome and amazing. Can't wait to see Van hitting that runway with me here in a week and a half.
Whoop, whoop.
Going to be super sweet. Sarah Heffern of Watermelon Mountain Ranch, thank you so much. Whenever we get back from the break, we continue the world of sports talk, including our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Pushing the Isham Dental Soundbite back one segment. We got caught up talking to Sarah Heffern from Watermelon Mountain Ranch.
It's a thing that happens.
Yeah. Kaylina, I don't know if you've ever helped anyone, but if you're trying to find an easy way to do it, Watermelon Mountain Ranch is the easy way to do it. So
Fun fact, very familiar with Watermelon Mountain Ranch. I think we've adopted like 4 animals through
what'd
them.
you do with all those animals you adopted?
We kept them until they eventually. Well, I still have one, but some of them passed away.
All right. Off the top of your head, name them all.
Aaron, Joby, Crap. Just kidding. I didn't name a dog Crap. Wait, I'm missing 2 of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
I know what it is. So we've adopted 2 animals through Watermelon Mountain Ranch, but I have 4 cats. I didn't adopt through them, but I've used their services for like
many
the spay and neuter.
cats.
Yeah, I went to college in Portales, and they have a lot of stray animals. And I had a pregnant cat show up and adopt me, and then I was responsible for all her babies. So,
Dang, it's like a step mom,
oh yeah,
step
It's wild.
dad mom.
Of an arranged marriage?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know enough to know.
Yeah. She was pretty young too. I thought she was just like a kitten. I was like, cool, and I was giving her food because after 5 days, I was like, okay, she clearly likes me. So then I found out she was pregnant, and I was like, okay, trying to find
How did she
people
tell
to
you?
take. Oh, they get really, really round in the middle, and then they start breathing heavy, and they kind of just flop over with
Oh,
their
the
belly out, like this
traditional
is really
way.
heavy.
Yeah.
That's how they tell you.
Oh, so she didn't throw her own shower, is what you're saying.
There was no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my cat was like, fun fact, a little mafia war leader as far as the
Sweet.
stray cats. Yeah. So I
Well,
have her royalty babies.
speaking of hissy fits, I'm not sure that's a good transition. Jorge Lopez is unemployed.
For now, he's good enough to get a gig somewhere, but do you want that baggage?
His bag's a little lighter because he threw his glove into the stands.
Also, I hope whoever caught that glove sends it directly to Topps or whoever's the leading baseball card manufacturer, and you have game-used glove pieces from his hissy fit.
Just cut up and mailed out. The guy who caught it put it on Reddit like 5 minutes after it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to make a move with it for sure. So if you weren't watching, he pitches for the Mets. He says they suck. They're the worst team on earth. He just flips out, throws his stuff into the stands, including his glove. And today he put out a social media message. Also he was designated for free agency today.
Yes.
So
duh.
And he went on to say, like, post the game yesterday, I'm paraphrasing here. He's like, this team sucks too bad to have me. I'm not going to be here. Like, forget it. Everyone sucks.
Yeah, he went on a really bad streak where he hasn't pitching up to his potential. And I think the first thing he said, because his first language is Spanish,
correct,
and I don't know if it translated well the first time he said it. He said something along the lines of, I'm the worst bleeping teammate on the worst bleeping team in baseball. And no one, like, what I saw was him like having a breakdown moment where he was talking about himself as part of a team. But of course, the snippet was the worst bleeping team in baseball and gets released the next day. I think this could be a really good teachable moment for him and other players who are frustrated with their performance. But no, we're ragging on him because he got fired the next day.
Jorge Lopez goes on to say today on a social media post, quote, first and foremost, I apologize to my teammates, coaches, fans, and front office. I feel that I let them down yesterday, both on and off the field. I also want to clarify my post-game remarks because I had no intention of disparaging the New York Mets organization. During that interview, I spoke candidly about my frustrations with my personal performance and how I felt it made me, quote, the worst teammate in the entire league, unquote. Unfortunately, my efforts to address the media in English created some confusion and generated headlines that do not reflect what I was trying to express. I wish the team the best and hope that God continues to give me strength, guidance in my personal and professional life. And he threw his glove in the stands.
I mean, this guy was an all-star like 2 years ago. And I hope he starts a trend of relievers who have bad performances. Just throw your glove, throw a hat,
well, and also
throw a pair of cleats into the crowd. Get that bad mojo. The baseball player is like the most superstitious group of people on earth. If you think your glove is what's causing you to throw meatballs right down the middle and some guy hits him out of the park, by all means, Jorge, throw your glove into the crowd.
Also, from the you only know how much you know category of life, he's had like a really sick kid since 2020 that's like lived in the hospital since 2020. Like you can only imagine the type of life and stress that this dude's got going on. And to be able to put on this effort professionally, that's really inspiring. And the Mets were obviously fully aware of this, but they let him walk today.
I mean, you kind of have to after this fiasco.
Yeah.
Especially if you're the Mets. If you're that kind of organization, you don't want to use it as a teachable moment and have to go through all the effort with New York media and have him apologize and bring him back and have this great redemption arc. If you're the New York Mets, you just get rid of him and move on.
Not every player is a trained media member. No. Like you got to give some dudes some slack. Cut that glove up, trade it out, do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing about that glove, if that does happen, you know what makes that glove become more valuable? If he does something wild, stupid right now. Like, and that's the thing you don't want to happen. You ever heard that conversation where people are like, Darvish has a translator, but he speaks perfect English. This is why you need one all the time.
Sure.
Stuff like this.
Like, whoa. No, Jorge, no. We don't say that.
That's not your thing. That's not the one. We step away so we can come back with the Isham Diddle soundbite of the day. It's zooming on live from Sadie's on 4th, 95 point. I blew the whole thing. The Sports Animal. Gilbert Sanchez with us on the program. You know, he runs Sadie's. Kaylina has to step away for a moment, but first, the Isham Dental soundbite of the day. Kaylina just stepped away without pressing play. Kaylina, can you play the Isham Dental soundbite of the day real quick?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get that KKOB needs help, but
I was ready to go. Hold on.
I mean,
Hold on.
Isham Dental soundbite of the day, huh? Just take
Bringing customer number 2. Hey Siri, it's not your night. Riff Zip 100.
So Jenny
Feeling
Kavnar is broadcasting the A's and the Devil Rays.
Did to the A's yesterday.
And at the plate,
0-1, and that's launched towards left field, and the payback comes at the bat of Jose Siri.
Siri
Tied up the ball game.
hits it out the building after she says, "Hey Siri, it's not your night."
Goodness.
Bringing customer number 2.
Kaylina,
Goodness.
kill it. Gil, you ever had to eat your words so fast?
Oh,
Not
man.
Not that
That
bad.
is
Jenny's having a
awful.
rough season too, right? Didn't she have like the worst
Uh,
walk-off call
But she's not good.
earlier?
That's a bummer because I was rooting for her.
Scott Isham over at Isham Dental, 505-881-0422. Go see Scott. He will get you a smile as good as mine with the fingers that he put in my mouth.
Wow,
He uses,
sounds amazing.
uses the same ones.
In
Doesn't wash them.
in her defense,
He does.
Okay,
Mason Miller has not blown a save all year, and Siri was over. So in a moment, if she was going to pick a moment
He hit a walk-off.
to act that overconfident, that was the one moment.
She hit it with the Hey Siri, which is...
That was good.
Nope, there. She just came on.
Uh-huh.
Also, did you see Apple's updating it to just Siri moving forward? Yeah, that's too much for me.
Wow.
I need the hey.
Yeah, exchange a pleasantry. Like, that's very rude. Just saying somebody by their first name and
Well, hey's kind of rude
making
too,
a
isn't it?
demand.
I'm into hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Gilbert.
Hey.
How about a jar of salsa? Gilbert.
Hey.
Jar of salsa.
Well,
it's way different.
No, don't change the tone of.
Siri had hit a home run earlier in the game as well. So this is just maybe the most misaligned. Multiple times my cell phone has come on
It just keeps
Yeah,
going
it keeps
on.
going on.
as we sit here. What's going on at Sadie's, Gil?
Oh,
Sorry. Hey, Sadie's.
Hey, Gil.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Let me tell you.
Good answer.
I've been gone for the last 2 Thursdays. I was in Chicago. I was listening to you guys talk about beautiful Chicago.
Yeah.
My first time there, and it was beautiful as you described it. Lake Michigan, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
But
nice.
I'm back. It is unofficially summer, right? Unofficially
I
summer.
think when it hits 80, that's when the wind dies down and
There's
it hits
a day.
80.
There's like a solstice.
The solstice?
Equinox?
That's June 20.
That's it.
Yeah,
Stop there.
right on.
June 20. You're correct.
Whoa, that's the summer solstice or that's the equinox?
Are they
Yeah.
the same?
Ooh.
Are they the same?
No, I think one's the 21st.
505-246-0610. Are you familiar with the Farmer's Almanac?
Equinox
Which is which?
20th.
But what is going on at Sadie's? We are serving tons of margaritas. It is getting hot out there.
It's the same. The equinox and the solstice is the same.
Then it must be different on the one in September. What is that one called? Fall.
That one's
Same thing.
Labor Day.
That would be the holiday. Yeah.
I hate that you guys for a second had me doubting that I knew what that was. That's how much I hate having you around. What's going on with Sadie's?
Margaritas.
Yeah.
Chili, burgers. It was National Burger Day a few days ago.
Graduation parties?
Graduation parties. Just fun. Always.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't been to the patio here, top shelf.
Live music tonight in the patio
Oh,
every
who's playing?
Thursday. One of my favorite bands, Flat Champagne. Oh, yeah. Think about that.
So you got FC on the patio. I like that.
Yeah. FC in the patio. That's right. They're playing right now, actually. I heard them warming up.
But if you do, in fact, order some champagne on the patio, we'll have bubbles.
It will, unless you request it without. Then we will
shake the hell out of it.
You may have to wait like 4 hours for it to go flat.
Well, or you can get it in the live music form right away.
Precisely.
Gilbert Sanchez, thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Sean at the Albuquerque Ice Hook joins us after the break. It's coming on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Station.
Number 2, men on, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on deck,
Stand by.
Marie Castillo.
Mike Hot.
This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Joining us on the program, friend of the show, voice of the Isotopes, all around 5 out of 10 guy, Josh Susha.
Good evening. 2 Men On, how are you?
Doing well, friend. Have you ever blown a call so bad?
Yes. I mean, the list is very long.
Does it haunt you the way that Jenny Kavnar should be haunted by her constant blown calls?
So I'm not going to answer that question, but I will tell you about the most embarrassing moment of my life as a broadcaster. It was a doubleheader here at Isotopes Park, and I remember not getting. So I'm going to set up all the excuses for why I screwed this up so bad. So I remember we didn't get the lineups until late, and I'm furiously trying to write the names into my scorebook as I'm like trying to call the action. And there was a left-handed batter up, and he swings, and I describe it as a foul ball to the left out of play. And I put my head down to keep writing down the names in my scorebook. And then I look up and realize that it was actually a home run to left field and not a foul ball. And I can tell you that out of the many things that I've learned as a broadcaster, it took me a little bit to learn this. But it was once you make a mistake, own it and turn it into a bit. I remember there was a time that, so when I was in Los Angeles, me and Ken Levine did post-game Dodger talk. And the Dodgers had like their big celebrity softball tournament, or just a celebrity softball game that was going on. And Ken goes up to this celebrity and calls the celebrity, and we were doing live interviews during the game that's appearing on Dodger Stadium. It's echoing throughout the ballpark. So Ken goes up to a celebrity and misidentifies the celebrity and starts asking questions, thinking that it's celebrity A and really it's celebrity B. So, of course, it's this embarrassing moment. It's, like, super awkward. So then it's Ken's turn to interview somebody again. And what does he do? He once again pretends like he's interviewing that same celebrity that he screwed up with. And then he goes back the third time and once again pretends like he's interviewing. So he took a major mistake. He turned it into a bit. He actually made it look like that was the bit the entire time, was to keep asking questions as if it's person A, even though it's these three totally different people. And out of the many, many things that I learned from Ken, that was one of them. You make a mistake, you just own up to it, and then you just have fun with it.
And that celebrity van, Joey Buttafuoco.
Oh, my goodness.
But he pronounced it the right way, so it worked out. Worked out well.
What could it have been? Killian Murphy and Tyler Glasnow? Because I could see the confusion.
That's a good one. It was actually Jim Carrey just doing a lot of impersonations. It's like confusable. We were asking about it, Josh, because obviously there are a lot of historic blunders in broadcast. We were talking about some today. I think I've had my fair share, obviously on a much smaller reach than some of these very famous ones. I think I'm like you. I think I just laugh at myself immediately.
Sure.
But this stuff can eat away at professionals for a lot of years, right?
Yeah, I think the bigger the moment, the more that it can really eat away at you. I mean, it's a terrible feeling when you just get anything wrong. So you just hope that it happens, like in my case. And the example that I gave is just one of many. Look, you work solo for 150 games a year. You're going to make some mistakes, but you hope that it's the first inning of a game in June, that it's not the potential game-tying shot or, the walk-off home run or something like that, I remember another time, too, where there was, I think this was either my first or second year, and there was a ball that was hit into the gap in right center field, and somebody dove for it, and they missed it. And then they didn't even try to run after it. And David Dahl was batting for us. And by the time that he got around second, he looked back and he just started jogging. And so it was like this. There was actually a lot of confusion. Like, wait a minute, did he catch it? Was it something else that was called? Even when Dahl crossed home, I wasn't sure if he was going to pick up his bat because maybe there was a balk that had been called. It's a no pitch, and because the right fielder didn't even bother getting up trying to go after it, I was thoroughly confused by what happened, and my call did not match the action at all. So even there's times like that it just stinks. You do your best, and sometimes the umpires don't give you clear instruction on what's happened. The players fool you by what they do or what they don't do, and it can eat at you. I mean, I've had times where there's other just mistakes that eats at me, and it's part of the process when you work live broadcasting.
I was broadcasting a arena soccer game one time, Van, for the St. Louis Ambush playing the Wichita B-52s, and they had given me a roster that had It was like last year's roster, but they were using the same jerseys.
Okay.
So I had every player except for like a couple of them wrong. And you're going through doing the broadcast. You don't know. Like,
how would you know?
How are you supposed to know?
Yeah.
And I remember after that one, like the number of emails and calls, and I'm like, I don't want to sell out the sports information guy from the opposing team. But yes, maybe I should have went and got my own roster. Maybe I did screw this up. Josh, do you trust the roster that's given to you?
Yes, I trust the roster that is given to me. What I'll add to this topic is that whenever there is a specialty jersey night, of which we have a lot and of which our opponents have a lot, that becomes a lot more common where somebody just says, pick a number, 29. The 29 just doesn't fit me in this jersey, so I'm going to wear a different number because it just fits me better tonight. So sometimes things like that will happen, and that can lead to some confusion. The first night that we did Jackie Robinson night, where everybody was wearing 42, it was that can be very confusing, especially because it happens early in the season where you may not be able to identify everybody because you don't have like their names and their bodies memorized, right? And so it's like, okay, let's call down to the dugout, or let's make sure that we have someone who's assisting us when there's a reliever warming up, and we just don't know. We don't have everyone memorized yet because of, and everyone's wearing 42 tonight.
Speaking of bad calls, no more Angel Hernandez.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. Angel's a bad umpire, but I feel like it's been over the top how much he has become a punching bag over the years. And when I read the stories that he basically did this because he was tired of his wife and his kids like getting the treatment that they got for his bad calls. Ultimately, it's his bad calls, but I feel like it was beyond mean-spirited the way that everybody reacted to Angel, because it's a tough job. He doesn't get every call wrong. I know he gets a lot. I don't know. It just became like the narrative seemed to me beyond the scope of how you should treat another human. And so I really, look, bottom line is it's good for the sport that he's no longer an umpire. But I just feel like the over-the-top social media reactions, I just got tired of it.
Do you have a favorite umpire? And then I'm going to have a follow-up question.
Oh, man. I don't have a favorite umpire, no. So
that's exactly why. Because all the good umpires, you don't know their friggin' names. We know Angel Hernandez. We know Joe West for more than just one reason of being a bad umpire. Angel Hernandez retires the very next day. Jeremy Rehack, you never heard that name before, have you? Almost called a perfect game, only missed 2 borderline pitches that could have been a strike or a ball, depending on how you view the strike zone. You get rid of Angel Hernandez, and you learn another guy's name for a good reason for once.
Yeah, that's true. Who is the umpire? I can picture his face. He's got a mustache, and he blew the call with Armando Galarraga's perfect game. What's his name again? Was it Steve?
No, it's oh God, what was his name?
Anyways, that guy, as you guys look it up, that guy,
JJ.
He became one of my favorite umpires because of the way that he owned his mistake. I remember when the reporters talked to him, and he'd obviously looked at the video and realized that he got it wrong, and he was in tears, right? And the next day, Armando Galarraga brought the lineup card out to home plate, and they had a moment, a very public moment, and it just showed the humanity that still exists in the world. And I just felt like that was just such a touching moment. And in a lot of ways, I think that I remember Armando Galarraga's perfect game more than a lot of others, because even though it wasn't an official perfect game, this umpire blew the call. He owned up to it. You know, they've actually become friends over the years. I think they've done a lot of different things where they've raised money for charity on each other's behalves. And I think it just goes to show that as much as we take sports really seriously, it's more important to just show humanity at times whenever we can.
Do you think when Andres Galarraga calls Jim Joyce, but he doesn't answer, do you think Andres Galarraga is like, oh, you missed another call?
First of all, it's Armando Galarraga, not Andres Galarraga, Fred, missing up this whole point and this touching sweet moment. Get the name right.
I was going for the punchline, really. That was kind of my drive there. Also, there's a cadence to my jokes, the way that there's a cadence to calling a play. How out of wits do you get when there's an inside the park home run?
Ooh, so I feel like I've gotten a lot of practice at this lately, and I was actually pretty proud of yesterday's call that I had for Trey Sweeney's inside the park home run. And if you don't mind a shameless plug, so of my numerous side projects, I have a YouTube series. It's called Crafting the Call. I work with this guy named Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. He works for the Lansing Lugnuts. And every week we have a different episode that's about different things. And our debut episode was about how to call an inside the park home run. And we looked at a whole bunch of different examples, one that I've done, one that I liked but I didn't love, one that Jesse did, a variety of major league, minor leaguers, inside the park home runs, and we really broke it down into like specific detail. These are the key things to do, these are the key things to avoid, and so
Fred, I texted you.
I was relieved that I basically took my own advice and called last night's inside the park home run the way that you should, the way to not get tongue-tied and when a lot of things is happening in a short amount of time.
All right, plug the pod again. Where does the crew, Sean, listen to it?
It's called Crafting the Call. It's a YouTube series, and it's been super fun. We're up to 16 episodes now. We just recorded another one earlier today. They come out every Tuesday. And by the way, when it comes to calling an inside the park home run, there's a couple of things that is key. Number one is that at some point, either when the outfielder falls down or when the ball takes a weird long bounce away, that you need to find some type of words to let the audience know that this is possible, that something strange has happened. And then it's finding ways to pause briefly to catch your breath so that you're not out of breath. And you're basically going from contact of the ball, describing the outfielder, describing what the outfielder's doing, describing what the baseball just did, picking up the base runner, picking up whether or not he's getting sent in, and then it's all about the relay throw. And trying to do all of that in about 14 seconds without losing your breath, your concentration, still identifying everybody, and then don't forget to say the score.
Gosh, Sean, we only have 14 seconds of the show left. Good job, brother.
Thank you very much. Talk to you guys in person tomorrow.
Aw.
Deal.
Josh is very good at radio. He says, I'm not going to answer that question.
But
here's an anecdote. Also, congratulations to Justice, as Donald Trump today found guilty on 34 different money laundering accounts. So,
I think you're counting chickens right now, Fred.
not hatched, huh?
Justice has yet to hatch, my friend.
Kaylina back in studio. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dan, final words?
Too much for the time allowed, my friend, we didn't cover, which is ample. Make sure you check out tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff and JJ.
Good job, everyone. GJ.
See you at Topes Park tomorrow.